Hey everyone, just wanted to do a quick video on why I like to trade options, or I prefer options as my preferred method of trading the stock market. And so let's get right into it. No fluff here. We just get right to business. So if you want to benefit when the stock price goes up, there are three different ways that you can do that. Number one, you can buy shares. Number two, you can buy call options. And number three, you could sell put options. Okay. So remember, this is if we want to benefit when the stock price goes up. Some people may not know what options are. So let's get into that really quick. We know that shares represent a piece of ownership of the company, and options are derived from shares and from that underlying. So options, each option contract, and that's either calls or puts because there are only two types of options contracts. You got calls, and then you got puts. So the call options contract, when you buy them, they benefit when the stock price goes up. A put option contract, when you sell them, they benefit when the stock price goes up. But when you buy a put contract, so in other words, you spend money on it. When you buy a put contract, they benefit when the stock price goes down. But I'll get into that in a minute. So let's just go over the structures or the components of an options contract. So there are two types, right? Let's go to the next page. Each one is the equivalent. Well, not equivalent. I shouldn't say equivalent. Is or holds leverage of 100 shares. Each one holds the leverage of 100 shares. So one call contract is 100 shares. One put contract is 100 shares. And each of them, let's see, the calls give you the right, it's an important word, but not the obligation to buy 100 shares at a specific price called the strike price. Boom. So that's the next component of an options contract, the strike price. So the strike price is a component that you get to choose. And remember, this is, if you think of an options contract like a coupon, and you have a coupon that says, okay, you can buy, let's see, who likes cereal? Well, who doesn't like cereal? I mean, especially if we're talking about Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Reese's Puffs, or, I mean, I could go on for days. But anyway, let's say we got a coupon that says that we can buy 100 boxes of Reese's Puffs for $1 a piece. And it has an expiration date, right? Every coupon is going to have an expiration date, but they also have a price that you can redeem your whatever the underlying asset is. In this case, we're talking about Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but we could be talking about stock. Oh, we should be talking about stock, but we're going to talk about Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Reese's Puffs. So the strike price, you get to choose it, and that's the price that you redeem your stock for, or you redeem your cereal boxes for. But every coupon is going to have an expiration date. So that expiration date is generally why a lot of people try to stay away from options contracts. But here's the thing, you got a bunch of different expiration dates that go out pretty far. So some of them, the longest I've seen is 2, almost 3 years. Right now, I think the longest contracts that are out are December 2023, and that's for only a handful of options contracts, or symbols rather. And symbols are what you would type into your broker to invest in. You invest in a bunch of different symbols. A symbol could represent a company, it could represent an index, but we'll get into that later. I just want to say why I like options right now in this video. So the reason I like options is because I can be extremely versatile. I can have that leverage of 100 shares. And also, the best part, I didn't mean to make a G. I was trying to make a C. They cost less than buying 100 shares. Remember I said you get the leverage of 100 shares? That's because leverage, you're paying less than what it would cost to actually own 100 shares. So being that I'm able to utilize that kind of leverage, in other words, I can use my capital, my money, more efficiently because I'm paying less money to essentially make more. The expiration date is what makes these riskier than just buying the stock. But because you're spending less money, if you know what you're doing and you understand volatility, which I will get into in its own video, and I could probably make God knows how many videos about volatility. But when you understand those things, investing in call options is a great way to make money, preserve your capital, and they're extremely versatile. So I'm going to go to a particular symbol right now out of this app. I'm going to go to my Thinkorswim. Let me get out of the order editor. Hopefully this doesn't make you have to turn your phone or anything, or your head if you're on your laptop looking at this. But let's look at a company everybody knows. Let's look at Apple. I typed in Apple as the name, but you see AAPL right there? That's the symbol that I was talking about that you would generally type into your platform that you trade on, which is called your brokerage account. Right now I'm using Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. So if I type in Apple, and you can see here, it costs let's just go with 126 for easy math. So $126 for one share, right? Let's go $126. Let's go back to our notes. Let's turn that sideways. So it costs us $126. Whoops. Per share. So does anybody know how much money that is if we were to buy 100 shares? Put it in your calculator real quick. You'll see that it's $12,600. So now let's go back to that same platform and see how much an options contract costs. We're just going to look at a call options contract, and we're going to look at a call options contract that gives us at least 1 year before it expires. 1 year. Back to our platform. Options. So let's look for an expiration 1 year away. Here's one, June 2022. I'm not recommending this, by the way, this June 2022. I just want to show you how much an options contract costs. So let's say the price that we want to redeem our options contract for, our strike price, that's these numbers in the middle here, the price that we want to redeem our coupon for, we want to use our coupon, take it into the store, redeem our boxes of cereal for, is going to be this number right here. Everybody remember eBay, right? Anybody ever went on eBay and you saw the bid? The bid is what a buyer is willing to pay. The highest buyer is willing to pay. The ask is the asking price, the lowest that a seller is willing to sell theirs for. And I'm over here because remember, we're just looking at a call options contract right now, the one that benefits when the stock price goes up. So if we are wanting to buy one, we want to click on the asking price. So we want to talk to the seller, the guy who put his asking price up there. We click on that. Let's go trade spread. And we can see that it costs $1,255.65. So let's go back to our notes. Actually, I forgot that number that quick. $12.55. Okay. So for one call option, and which strike price did we choose? What is our redeemable price? 130. We chose a redeemable price of 130. One call option that can, remember, can, it doesn't have to be, can be redeemed for 100 shares by June of 2022 at $130 per share. Costs $1,255. $1,255 compared to $12,600. Capital efficient. It does have an expiration date. It is possible that this contract could expire worthless. It's just like any coupon. When your expiration date passes, when you're trying to get your Reese's Puffs or your Cinnamon Toast Crunch, guess what? You can't use the coupon anymore. The same thing applies to these options contracts. But because they have, you can use 100 shares, that's the, because you can use 100 shares, sorry, that was my wife texting me, but because each one is worth 100 shares, you can utilize that leverage to make a good amount of money. Now, this $12.55 may seem like a lot, so eventually I'll get into the video on how we can finance that price. So when we finance it, in other words, we just reduce how much we pay for it. We also reduce how much we could make. So there's going to be a trade-off for reducing how much you pay, but you can get that exact same contract, this exact coupon, for a discount. So yeah, when it comes to just making a more efficient use of capital, I'm a big fan of options, and I hope that you will be too. Hope this helps.